For Digital Citizens Media, I'm Taylor Camaro, and sitting with me is Danielle Veroni. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Taylor.
Just a brief intro. She's a senior at Sacred Heart University studying 2 majors in communications and history with a minor in American history. Danielle is originally from Vail, Arizona, a ways from home here in Connecticut. Her hobbies include binge watching Marvel movies, reading and writing, and the excessive amount of coffee during the busy week. I definitely feel that. With that said, today we'll be discussing the world's smallest political quiz and tackling a heavier topic like the impeachment trials and what that means for this election year. So how did you feel about taking this quiz?
It was pretty good. A little too short, if you ask me. The questions were pretty broad and were a little too vague to give honest answers, but overall it was fine.
I also noticed the results revealed you are a centrist. Do you feel that describes where you stand on the political spectrum?
Yes and no. I agree to an extent that I stay pretty centered when it comes to politics, but I noticed that my dot was shifted more towards conservative and statist ideals. I find that fascinating, but not surprising. I grew up in a conservative household, and so the information isn't all that skewed.
Sounds like a legitimate answer, considering you grew up in that type of household. It seems that a lot of people don't understand the process for impeachment and what it entails. I've seen people assume that because the household voted to impeach Trump, he automatically is not our president. That is not the case. All that means is that he has been found guilty according to the articles of impeachment. The trial has been set for mid-January to determine whether or not Trump will remain in office. So what side do you stand on this?
Honestly, this whole thing has been crazy to me. I don't agree with the decision to impeach, especially right before an election, but let's be honest, one party has had impeachment on their mind since Trump was sworn in.
Very interesting response, Danielle. I feel having a president impeached before the election puts stress on our people when needing to decide on a leader for our country, so I can very well agree with your input.
My question is, has anyone thought about the repercussions of removing Trump from office? Mike Pence will immediately take over the presidency for the remainder. That would have a huge effect on the election as well. I just think this whole impeachment process and the trial have been extremely unnecessary. It almost feels like a last-ditch effort to completely flip power from one side to the other in our government. Who's looking out for the people here?
It is quite a mouthful, and a very empowering opinion you have here. We don't know what will happen, but I can say this interview went quite well and hopefully gave some insight to our listeners. Thank you for coming, Danielle, and hope to have you back again.
Anytime, Taylor.
For Digital Citizen Media, I'm Taylor Camaro, and thank you for tuning in.